Okay, long-term retainers. Alright, so honestly, I feel that a lot of long-term retainers, those who are practicing like long-term retention, 500, 600, 1000, 2000 days in straight, okay, I think they are not being very honest in that sense, so, or if they are being very honest, I will challenge them and I will say to them that they have put the emphasis on the wrong thing. Okay, so I am Nicholas. So I have been doing semen retention for the past 3 years. If you want to go into straight, if you want to talk about straight, my longest streak is 8 months, 240-ish days. Okay, so how do I do it? I did it with willpower. And if you're asking me, will I want to do it again? No, I won't want to do it again because it's really painful. And as I mentioned in the previous video, if you put too much emphasis on it, like say for example this subject of semen retention, like retain your semen. Okay, if you put out emphasis on it, it takes out a lot of mental blockage, you see. So I like to look into why are we actually doing it. Okay, so it is very surface level. It's actually about self-control. It's about self-control. It's about controlling your dopamine levels, not fall into cheap dopamines, and some kind of self-restraint. If you really want to go into the Taoism practice of it, which by the way, they never really, in terms of Taoism practice, they never really emphasize on semen retention. They emphasize in harnessing that male essence, so that you can harness it so that you can improve your life, improve your health. That's what it's more about. And because they believe that if you were to release your seed, you are essentially releasing your life force, life essence and life force. They call it Jing. Yeah. So it's really not about retention. It's a practice for about 3,000 over years. And so, of course, in 3,000 years ago, the world is different. You don't have that ultra stimulus in the, like super high speed internet kind of instant internet. You don't have you get what I mean. So, what I'm trying to say is that the emphasis has never been about, how long you can retain your semen, or when you retain your semen long enough, you will turn into an angel or a deity, or you have superhuman powers. It's really just about self-control. It's just about how you could actually control yourself, how you can efficiently harness that creativity, because it's associated with creativity because it is the essence of creation in that sense. So it's about harnessing that creativity, that creative essence, that life energy into other things, like other more productive things, like your work, your exercises, your life, your relationship. Instead of keeping yourself in that little dark loop of constant compulsive ejaculation, letting out all your energy and spilling out all your seed and kind of things. It's never about long-term retention. Of course, at this modern world, if you are kind of addicted to a lot of, for example, if you are very addicted to junk food, you might want to take a good 30 days to 60 days to kind of clean up your diet and not eat into junk food. That's the first thing to start. So same goes to semen retention. The first thing to start, for me, for example, I did a long detox, 240 days, and to be honest, beyond 120 days, or 60 days, right, you are actually just shifting your entire mind and your entire thought to actually keeping the streak already. You are shifting it, you're putting so much emphasis on it because you have been constantly trying to brainwash yourself and trying to think to yourself that it's ultimately very beneficial. The longer you go, you will be more beneficial. But that's not the case, you see, because you are just trying to be more aware of yourself and kind of detox, clean up your thoughts a little bit in that sense. It's never about the entire retention process is a progression. It's like, you progress it's like a level up. It's a tool, you see. It's a tool to make your life a bit better, to make you be more aware of yourself, to understand how to regulate your energy, regulate your essence, and put it into other things that's more efficient. On its own itself, truthfully, after about 60 days, you don't really see any much kind of benefit out of it already. 90 days, you will start to see a change, a very big change in fact. And you will kind of understand that, okay, this is how it feels. You have the drive to actually go out and work. You have the drive to like do things. You won't be caught in like this little dark loop of like, I constantly need to release and stuff. So yeah, honestly, a lot of the long retainers, from what I see, I seriously think that they are either lying, sad to say. I think they are either lying, or they are just trying to self-inflate their ego, because this entire movement has become so big. So many people are watching it, so many people are kind of like looking at it. They want to be idolized in a sense, so hence they want to inflate the numbers a little bit to make them look better and more superior in that sense. So it's really just about ego. Honestly, I think a good 60 to 90 days, if you do it correctly, it's going to be very beneficial already. You immediately spot the difference beyond that. Yeah. But of course, in the initial 60 to 90 days, it's tough. It's really tough. You do need that willpower. I will call it a willpower phrase. You got to use a little bit of willpower to kind of go into that. You need to use some tools and techniques to help you to quit all your cheap dopamine. Yeah, cheap dopamine, not just like lust and porn and stuff. It's really a good detox. You basically got to detox your lifestyle, really, like cutting out all the bullshit, your alcohol, your smoking and everything, your lust, clean up your thoughts a little bit, your lust, and once you're doing all this, you'll start to realize that you can actually be very productive in that sense. Yeah. So if you like my channel, like and subscribe. See ya.